What's going on, guys? So with us getting back into One World Under Doom, once again we have a case of Emperor Doom being underestimated, which leads to him proving himself to be more than capable, much like before. But when this leads to his biggest threat yet, in One World Under Doom, this just might be the match that Doom is most prepared for. So with that said, if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell up top to get all notifications. Alright, so coming back, this picks up in the Impossible City, which is the sentient Avengers headquarters that they've been operating out of for the past 2 years or so. And at this time, like we saw in issue 2, Carol Danvers has brought in the Masters of Evil, and not the multiversal Masters of Evil, just the regular ones, though it would have been fun to see Sorcerer Supreme Doom go up against the Doom above all. But no, this is just your standard 616 version of the team. And much like we talked about in Jason Aaron's Avengers Forever and Avengers Assemble, on Earth 616, the Masters of Evil have been around since the mid-60s, and they've had different members come and go throughout the years, but their original team was built around Baron Zemo to go against Captain America in the Avengers, much like how you would have the Justice League versus the Legion of Doom, or the X-Men versus the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So when they get here, you kind of have an idea of what the vibes are before they even get to discussing the plan. Because right away, we get this moment where Tony catches MODOK and Doc Ock kind of snooping around the Impossible City, just for Tony to tell them that they're not going to see anything here that the Avengers don't want them to see, and also that MODOK's mind control is not going to work here, so don't even try it. And that's just one of those things where it's pretty much a given, where if you invite the villains to your home base, at least a couple of them are going to wander off and start snooping around. Kind of like when you have that relative staying over that you don't get along with, and they start going through your things, looking for your weakness. Same concept. But as soon as they get back to the others, they get caught up on the conversation, where on one hand, Wanda's saying how Doom's a hypocrite for opening borders all over the world while Latveria is closed off. And that's where you have Sam Wilson saying it's going to take more than name calling to win minds and hearts. But also with these two teams having the common stance of neither of them wanting to live in a world ran by Doom, Arcade goes for the hot take, and he's like, why haven't the Avengers done anything about it besides lose to Doom? And really it just comes off like Arcade's just trying to push Thor's buttons, and he is, because as soon as Thor responds, Arcade just leads into it. But eventually Storm and Iron Man are able to calm Thor down. And now with everyone here, Carol Danvers goes on to lay out the plan. Because she says here, this is where we're at, people. We tried catching Dr. Doom in a lie, and he was ready for us. Then the Fantastic Four tried humiliation, and he was ready for that too. So that leaves the obvious, we're gonna beat the guy up. And while we're certain it's what Doom's expecting, with a dozen intricate counterplans for us and our powers, I'm less certain of his ability to adapt those plans. To you six, you're our wild cards. All you need to do is what you do best. Ruin some best laid plans, fight, scheme, plot, destroy. Each of you has proven yourself in battle. And you've also proven to my satisfaction that you are as unwilling to tolerate a world under Doom as we are. So right away, this has Mysterio like, what? That's it? That's your master plan, your big move? Punch Dr. Doom until he says he won't be Emperor anymore? And Mysterio says here, Doom was absolutely ready for you the last 2 times. What's different now? And don't say us. We're a +6 modifier, not a ×2. So that's where Wanda tells him the thing that's different is that this huge fight with Doom, it's just a distraction. So Tony goes on to explain the real plan, which is the same thing we were told back in issue 2. As far as Wanda going around and investigating the different world leaders while using magic and telepathy to find out what Doom has done to them. And the only difference we're seeing at this point is the addition of Baron Mordo and Madeline Pryor, helping Wanda with this investigation, while the other members of the Masters of Evil join the heroes and take the fight to Doom. So Carol Danvers basically tells them that if they want in, say the word. But if not, then the Avengers will just send them back to Earth now. And all of them basically agree. Though in some cases, a few of these guys kind of have their eyes set on getting a bit more out of this. Like Baron Mordo wanted the title of Sorcerer Supreme, Arcade wanted to become a mobile murder world, as well as Doc Ock and MODOK wanting to keep Doom's mask as a souvenir. But across the board, they're all in. So not too long after, the attack team makes their way to Latveria's border, where they all strike together at once, which doesn't really do anything, much like before, though I guess it doesn't hurt to try again. And even though after this they get Vision to step up and try to phase through it again, the primary objective hasn't changed, because they've come here to fight Doom. So you can really just think of all this as them getting his attention. And it works, because not long after, Doom pops up, riding on his trusty mind-controlled dinosaur variant, and he's actually surprised to see the Avengers teaming up with the Masters of Evil here. So Doom's like, strange bedfellows you're keeping these days, Avengers. Have you really become so desperate to... And right there, Doom just stops when he notices a bullet piercing through his first and second barrier of protective magic, which right away lets him know that there are others here who have been shielded from his sight, with Arcade firing the shot from afar off, with Mysterio keeping them covered. And there's really no time for Doom to do anything about it, because, you know, that's how bullets work. But what's crazier is when this knocks Doom off of Dinosaur Doom, Mysterio reveals that him and Arcade had a hidden metal shredder ready to catch Doom just underneath. But Doom avoids falling into it because even now he still has control over his dinosaur variant, so he gets it to destroy the metal shredder as he gathers himself. And I gotta say, it's pretty wild what Arcade and Mysterio had set up here. And I just imagine on the way, these two were going back and forth on 1,000 ways to kill Doom, because the whole hidden metal shredder idea, that's wild. But right here, the others use this moment as an opportunity to hit Doom hard, which now has Doom telling them that was unwise just before he takes them all on. But it's right here when we jump back over to Wanda, Madeline Pryor, and Baron Zemo, who've made their way out to the different world leaders to do a spell that'll make every national leader's mind available to them in the Mindscape. Just before they get started, Wanda tells Baron Mordo, even though their minds are not connected, she can already sense his thoughts of betrayal, which gives us another one of those moments where it's like, hey, don't even try it. And he doesn't even deny it. But what happens here when they count down and look into the minds of all the world leaders after searching for many hours within the Mindscape, which was literally a matter of seconds in reality, Wanda reaches out to Carol to tell her it wasn't Doombots. So right there, Carol's just like, aha, mind control, got it. So she tells Wanda like, okay, yeah, just free the leaders and after that, but then Wanda's like, no, it wasn't that either. And this is where Madeline Pryor, Baron Mordo, and Wanda explain that Doom only used his power as Sorcerer Supreme to allow him to be at a number of places at one time, so he could accomplish in a single night the amount of work that would have taken decades, if not years, to do. So when Carol asks, like, work, like, what do you mean? They tell her the work of negotiation captain, of tapping into the hate and fear already present after the vampire invasion, of building on the impression that the world is chaotic, the system broken, and the heroes just as bad as the villains. Doom simply promised order, then offered everyone with power whatever they needed to secure their support. Money, security, help, time, sex, revenge. Everyone got exactly what they wanted. There are no spells to break, no robot duplicates to punch. Doom didn't cheat. Don't you see? This isn't magic, Carol. This is human nature. We chose this. So once again, this just has the Avengers looking like Earth's biggest dummies. And you best believe that Doom heard everything that Wanda and the others said, because it has Doom like, now you know the truth. I did not take this title. I earned it. And I can only imagine Doom feels like that one player who has like 50 kills, even though he just joined the match, and after being falsely reported a number of times, the dude just doesn't get banned. And that's what Doom's like here, because he's like, now you know the truth. I did not take this title. I earned it. Because he might as well be like, hey, I did not cheat. You all just need to be better. And I mean, aside from Doom persuading the world leaders without using any mind control or any tricks, we do know that his hands are not completely clean. Because behind the scenes, this dude's been farming war strategies from General Ross and a bunch of others who are being held against their will on the other side of this barrier. The only issue is at this point, no one's figured that out yet. And I'm sure it'll be just a matter of time before people do, because when that time comes, it could go either way. Because we know for a fact, some of these secret prisoners who Doom has locked away in Latveria, they've been executed. So this could potentially be used against Doom, or he just might get away with it if he buried it deep enough in the terms of agreement. We just gotta wait and see what happens once this information gets out. But then it's here where Doom tells them, in America, this is a group of the worst of the worst. Those who are much more deadly than the villains the Avengers brought with them here today. And as of right now, they're in the process of escaping the raft. So Doom lets them know that they got a choice. They can either stay here and fight him, or choose to fight alongside Doom to prevent things from getting worse and to serve the greater good. Like he just hits them with the ultimatum. And he makes it plain and simple by asking them, do you actually want to help people? Because he's given them the choice whether they can stay here and fight him or just get on somewhere else and go and be heroes. And it's a brilliant plan, because he's basically setting up the Avengers and the Masters of Evil to support some of the arguments he already made to the different world leaders about the heroes being no different than the villains. And it's not even like Doom planned for it to play out this way exactly, because he didn't know the Masters of Evil would be here. But nonetheless, by doubling down on the contingency that he already had set in place, this just makes it work even better. And the Avengers know that Doom's not bluffing, because Tony confirms the uprising at the raft, Storm gets confirmation from the Impossible City, so they know it's true. And even though Carol's like, no way, because it's obvious that Doom planned this. So she asks Doom what's his game, to show them fighting alongside of him, tactically supporting Doom. So she goes on to tell him that's not going to happen, because they built the raft and they'll fix the raft without him. But what they're not going to do is fight alongside Doom and make him look good in the process. But Doom doesn't even care, so he sends them over to the raft before he goes on to make his next speech. And when he does, there's a moment here where Carol tells him, you know, like, we'll fix the raft without you. This isn't over. And that's where Doom is just like, over? We are still but in the opening act. And it's like, boy, is he getting ready to find out. But before that, when he sends them to the raft, we get this news broadcast that just further proves how good Doom has got them here. Because the broadcast that's covering this goes on to say, a major escape from the ultra-high security prison, the raft, was put down today in New York, as the Avengers, aided by several supervillains, defeated dangerous criminals. It was a huge success for the heroes, proving there are still good people in this world. Or rather, it would have been had these self-same heroes not been absent beforehand, overseas, on an extrajudicial attack against Emperor Doom, thereby allowing this dangerous near miss of an escape to get as far as it did. While their selfish attack did not harm Doom, it did delay him. Therefore, Doom teleported the Avengers to the raft himself, giving them the chance to make their own mess right, to manifest his will while he attended even more pressing matters elsewhere. Even before this latest success, more and more of the skeptics were already coming around to give the guy a chance. And why not when the world is so clearly improving under him? Take a look at this clip, folks, then try telling me you're not impressed. Which from here takes us over to Doom's speech, where he's using the example of the Avengers teaming up with the villains as a way of painting the picture to say that they're morally compromised, and how the world nearly tipped into chaos because of their rogue actions. And it's really just the perfect PR spin, because Doom even flips it around to say that he personally is not one who's doing either, and eventually the Avengers will come around to seeing the errors of their ways, and such realizations are better late than never, as he goes on to thank them for their services. And I gotta say here, throughout One World Under Doom so far, we've seen things play out to where either Doom has a plan or contingency for fixing the world or stopping the heroes from discrediting his position, or we've seen Emperor Doom successfully pivot when something has caught him off guard. And in this issue specifically, we've seen examples of both, but not everyone's convinced that Emperor Doom has an answer for everything, or if he's fully aware of the responsibilities that come along with the position that he's holding. Because while Doom's giving his speech, we find out that he's being watched by Dormammu, who believes since Doom's taken the title of Sorcerer Supreme, he's being ignorant of the responsibilities that come along with it, which suggests that Doom may not be aware of them, which now has Dormammu believing that this is the perfect time to attack, since it would seem like Doom's preoccupied with politics. So again, Dormammu's looking at this like, okay great, Doom doesn't know what he's doing, so this is the perfect opportunity for Dormammu to claim Earth along with the rest of the 8th cosmos for the Dark Dimension. But with seeing this, to me, the first thing I think of is the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. Because in that story, Emperor Doom was well aware of his responsibilities as Sorcerer Supreme. He just chose to delegate those responsibilities over to Spider-Man. So it's not like he didn't know what came along with the title of Sorcerer Supreme. So when it comes to Dormammu and defending Earth Realm from the Dark Dimension, I'd be surprised if Doom didn't already have a plan for this. And I don't think he's going to hand this fight off to someone else like he did to Peter. But instead, I believe Dormammu is wrong about Doom not being aware of what comes along with the title of Sorcerer Supreme. And not just that, but whatever plan that Doom has for stopping Dormammu, I'm pretty sure it's one of the first contingencies he put to the side. Because Doom's been gunning for Sorcerer Supreme for a long time. So at some point he had to be like, when I get it, Dormammu's gonna come, so here's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, and let me know in the comments if you think Dormammu's right and Doom's completely ignorant, or if you think Emperor Doom's thought about this one. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Because for me, I'm not saying that Doom is all-knowing or nothing ever gets past him, but I just find it hard to believe that Doom would know about the contest with the Scions of Sidorak, and not know about Doctor Strange protecting Earthrealm from the Dark Dimension. But either way, let me know what you think in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. Because either way, we're definitely gonna find out when Emperor Doom and Dormammu go toe-to-toe. And so now real quick, I want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you guys for all of your support. And for anyone who's new here, who wants more information on how to support the channel, I got a link below where you can go to patreon.com/dopespill. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and we'll do it again on the next one. Alright, later.